24. Herbert going to go to the air right away. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Rocky Sin. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
Wow, just one snap in, partner, and the complexion of this game has already changed because for the defensive side, they just handed their offense a short field and a big early advantage. And even though it's only the first snap of the game, we're going to look back on this one and see if it has lasting effects as this game moves on.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Now a first carry for Brandon Bolden. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Ball at the 9 on 2nd and 8. They'll run again with Bolden. He pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Eluding the pressure right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a first-and-goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Charger drive about to get going. Not the way they wanted to begin things. You had the interception on the first play of the game. The good news, it only led to 3 points.
And remember our conversation with him prior to the ball game? He said they had something special designed for the first play. It didn't hit. Let's see if he can rebound from it and not let it get him down.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. You don't see that a ton, do you? A cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 45-yard line. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. Running on first down, Eckler. He's got it to the 43 here. 8 yards to go on 2nd down. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 21. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. Open man is Palmer. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Chargers are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. Extra point right down the middle, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. And Abdullah will not try to bring it out. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. $7 yards there and a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Bolden. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. On play action, now Carr. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A Raider first down, Carter Renfrow. That's his first catch of the game, and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all. They went right at it and defeated it on that play.
Second quarter from Vegas. The homestanding Raiders with a football here, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. Joey Bosa in on the stop.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Carr. This throw nearly intercepted. Oh, the big D lineman almost had it, but 3rd down coming up.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Now Carr. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The Charger drive about to get going. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And the Raiders are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
From the 22, Carr steps away to his left. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Eckler now between the tackles. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Herbert off of play action. He dumps it to Eckler underneath, and he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack. Well, it looked like they were trying to get him outside there, but this defense had different plans.
Yeah, they really had an outside-in kind of a pass rush. It's almost like when you're covering a punt. You can't let him get to the outside and get to the sideline. You force him to stay in the middle of the field, and they did exactly that and made the play.
The throw over the middle taken in, and he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. And the Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. Here's Herbert. Got his man. It's Williams. And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler, a 16-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to extend their lead. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Abdullah's going to stay put, and the drive will start at the 25. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're... And for the third time here this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson, and the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. 3 first-half interceptions now, and Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
Play action. It's Herbert. He finds his receiver Williams for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 18 now. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. And Abdullah will not try to bring it out. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers will take over possession here up at the 44. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, well, we look at the defense. They came in prepared. An excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Herbert. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Boy, a big play right there. I mean, a touchdown on this drive could have really put some separation on the scoreboard. Instead, it's the defense who scores. And, partner, we got a game again.
And we do have one because of what you just described. A defense that understood what was going on in this game and did something about it. They knew their offense needed some help. They just provided it. They're back in this one.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. From his end zone, here comes Carter. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Charger drive about to get going. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. And the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Now it's Herbert. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down. On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this 3rd quarter of action. Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. On play action, it's Carr. Flushed out right. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Credit the sack to Joey Bosa. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Nowhere to go that time. It's a 46-yard punt with a loss on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. They started on the ground with Eckler. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. On 2nd and a couple, Herbert. And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out. This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their...
He's got a man, complete. And they're going to move it down inside the 25. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the 3rd quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
Well, that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. 3rd quarter from Southern Nevada. Here's a 2nd and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I remember Coach told me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against him offensively. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. They'll run for it with Eckler. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Buying time to his left. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. Up the middle with Eckler. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler with his second touchdown of the night, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Point after, right down the middle. And that will make this a 19-point game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Throwing now is Carr. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And now here's another interception. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. The handoff, it's Eckler. 5 yards gets him back near the original line of scrimmage as they'll be left with a 3rd and long. Here's Herbert. It's complete to Williams. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 13-yard line. 13 yards down to the 13. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. On the give, this is Eckler. And he showed a nice little juke, but then the window quickly closed. 2nd and 5 from the 8. It's Eckler again. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Herbert now. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
They snap it to Herbert. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The fourth down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And the Raider D, they get the football back. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them.
And my goodness, another interception. Derwin James with a pick, and the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. It's then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. On the ground, it's Eckler. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. A Charger first there as Herbert finds Williams. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Going on the ground with Eckler. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Now they bring a receiver in motion right. Trying to punch it in with Eckler. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup.
Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Got a man. It's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen there to make the grab. And the Chargers use the short field to get in for 6. Extra point right down the middle. And that will bump the lead up to 26. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
Now Carr, got to have this one. And now here is another interception. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football.
So many times we end the game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Herbert. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
On 4th down, Herbert. And Allen's got it. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. With the late lead, Herbert's going to throw it. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us, we're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee, as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. One final try now for Carr. He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians, as this ball game is now officially over. The partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say good night from Las Vegas.